Hey, it's Mark, and I'm back with another video on stocks and markets. I want to look at some longs and shorts because that's the way I like to do it. I like to do short setups and long setups, and sometimes there's a lot more long setups and short setups, obviously, like the past year. But the short setups typically emerge better when there's a bull market too. So, like especially the supernovas, like if you haven't heard that, that's basically a stock that has a tremendous run where it goes up 100, 200, 300 or more percent in the span of say a week, in less than 10 days or so. So it's stocks that are really seeing a lot of increased volume and buying, and a lot of times that gets exhausted and they come down. So the supernova, it's like a supernova star that just expands and it gets hotter and hotter, and then it eventually collapses. So the stock prices collapse like the star. And it's been a good setup over the years. I mean, obviously some are better than others. Like the BBIG was kind of like the epitome of a supernova, because they're usually the best ones are, I would say, lesser quality companies. You would say lesser quality, not quality companies, but the pattern works in a lot of things, and not just in bad companies. But I'm just gonna go through some things here, and this isn't scripted, this isn't staged. I'm just kind of looking at the stocks on my watch list and I'll maybe look at some supernova scans real quick, because I don't think there'll be that many in the scans, and then we'll just go from there. So I'll try to keep it about 30 minutes or less, and we'll go through some of these scans real quick and watch lists. So the first ones I'll look at, I'll start with the major indices, and we'll look at the Qs, because the Qs are really important. And it's still in this down channel. It's actually, the momentum has been so strong on the short side that it's just broken through this channel. So I need to redraw this actually, because there's just been a lot of momentum after it cracked this level here. So that's the range it's in now. But this may even just keep cracking, but I think it's due a pullback here. Whether or not it'll actually be able to hold a pullback is another story, but you can see these 3 big down days in a row is not very common, and it's never done that actually since, well, in the last leg down it was 3, but today it was pretty explosive. So this is the channel to watch for the Qs, and it's definitely in breakdown mode. I mean, it's just knocking on all these levels here. It's there's a level there that it took out too. So it took out that one. First one took out was that one. Now it took out this one, and it looks like there's no stopping for a while. And now you've got the Bitcoin crashing almost too. So with Bitcoin down, 8%. Well, last time I checked, there's a lot of pressure on risk on assets, and I don't see this. I see this continuing. I don't see why it's going to let up with some of these emerging markets still in trouble too, at least technically. And then you got the China fundamentals are bad. So the SOXX, I'm still short SOXX with the ETF that's a reverse leverage ETF, SOXX. And it did what I was looking for. It cracked that support level. It cracked this level here going back to June. And I think this one's going to test this downtrend line here, this channel support. So we'll see how long that takes, but as long as it's in this channel, I think the lows are going to keep coming, especially if it's knocking out these major levels of support. So let's see what. Well, yeah, let's look at IWM too, because that one cracked the support line days ago. Oh, it's even worse from the volatility. It looks like it's coming up on this next level here, this big one. It's got a level there, pretty good level at the 178s area. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next level it tests right there. You can see it's just taking out a lot of support, and it's going below this channel too. So there's a lot of selling pressure. One of the ones I've been watching that I haven't been talking about is the DPZ. Domino's is a pretty popular pizza company, you may know. And the CEO over the years has always said that, you know, when Domino's is doing well, the consumer is strong, and a strong consumer is good for Domino's. So it's basically a good benchmark for consumer spending. And it's got these levels, these resistance levels that it's failed to hold. I mean, they had that good news on their, well, you can see how, I don't know how good it was, but they had a more positive news on using Uber for ads. I was hoping that was going to be meaning that they would use some Uber drivers too, because they often have driver shortages, and there's not the labor market's really tight, especially in pizza, where a lot of people don't want to use their own car to deliver pizzas, and that's kind of there's sort of that's sort of an idea that's a lot of people have, that it's a bad idea to use your own car to drive and deliver pizzas. I mean, whether or not sometimes it works for people, you know, obviously if you need the money, but for a job that's, you know, they pay people like servers, they don't pay much hourly. It's not the best job, you know, if you got to put some depreciation on your car. But anyway, this one's got this. I'm watching this. It looks like it's coming up on this big level here, and I don't see any reason to be bullish. Like I was saying, like I don't think that news was as good as people think it is. I mean, yeah, they're gonna have some more possible increase in revenue from being on Uber, but I don't know if it's not going to be the savior of the company. So, I mean, it's not going to be as impactful as people think it was. I don't think. I could be wrong. I'm not an analyst on it, but I'm just looking at the technicals here, and it looks like it's about to go back down in breakdown mode. You can see it does well on these. It trades in these uptrends. See the uptrend there, and the downtrends, another uptrend. So if we extrapolate that to this one, it's uptrended, and it's got to hold that. It looks like it's not going to hold. So I'm leaning towards. I'm more bearish on this stock right now. And there's a lot more options now for food, you know, with these aggregators, with, you know, Uber Eats, and, you know, pretty much any local pizza shop is you know, is a delivery possibility now. And I think a lot of people probably know that Domino's it's frozen pizza too, like their ingredients are frozen, so it's not the best quality, but it is cheap. That's the way it's one of the cheapest options for pizza, but we'll see what happens. I'm watching that level there. this 382.90 and 380. Well, 381 was the very bottom. And let's go with some other ones here. We got this one I found. I typed in a ticker symbol wrong because I was looking for iPay, and this one's been really good here this month. It gapped up on earnings, so it had a good reaction off earnings, and it's just been in an uptrend all year. You can see that nice steady uptrend, and it looks like a bull flag. It really looks like a bull flag here. We'll see. It needs to me, it needs to break above 1403. So it needs to hit 1404 to be a long at this time. So I think the setup's dead if it doesn't get some momentum out of this flag here. Because I'm really cautious on longs here. I don't want to put on a lot of longs, but that's a setup there for a bull flag. Pretty good one too, and the volume's light on it. A lot of these small caps have been wrecked though, so I'm just cautious on that, but it is a setup, one of the few. I've been looking at the SOUN. It looks like it might come back and test this trend support or this downtrend line. So it needs to really break out to be a good one, but it's another possibility. The FNMA, I talked about this one yesterday, and it went up 47% today. And FMCC is probably similar because they're pretty much the same business. The FMCC was up too. So these ones just might keep going. I mean, it's crazy momentum. It's a lot of momentum for another weekday. And it's kind of it's funny because it's kind of a bullish thing if they go up because they own a bunch of mortgages. So, but let's look at some more longs. The SAVE, I was talking about this one. They're potentially getting bought out by another airline, by JetBlue, and the buyout price is like $33 a share. And it's been trading in the 15s at times. So there's definitely a spread there if they get this merger to go through. I think they're gonna try it and they're gonna get it done. The IRBT is another one. Let's check on that one. The IRBT is supposed to be getting bought out by Amazon, and it's down too. So there's a spread there. Their buyout price is now 51 a share, so there's a spread there too. I think these arbitrage plays are probably one of the safer places to be long in this market when we're in this downtrend. So those are good places to look too. MITK just came back and just got annihilated out of that breakout, so it's not looking good right here. Let's see if it even held some trend support. Yeah, it technically has trend support until 1550 area, but looks like that one's busted up too. A lot of these long setups are busted. The KSPC is a robotics company that I really like, and that one's still hanging in there. Another company I like is SLGC. SLGC, it's a deep value play, so it's more of an investment, and it's back down to this level here, to this $2 share level. And I think that's a good spot to pick it up because it has the net cash value, or the total net cash value is is way higher. Like this company's selling for less than its net cash on the balance sheet. So it's really cheap in this kind of market, especially. The other one I was looking at, tweeted out, was NGE, the Nigeria ETF. They might have some political things brewing. Like it looks like the politics are improving for companies, and it broke a long-term downtrend. It was in a long-term downtrend since 21. Well, it's come back like a lot of emerging markets have, and then it had this nice run this year. It ran all year. It was up 37% at the highs this year, and it's still up 22%, and it has a 16% dividend yield, trailing 12-month dividend yield. I looked at the last 2 dividend payments I could find, and it paid out every 6 months, so there's roughly a 16% trailing yield, and it's on this trend support right now. It's testing trend support right now, so that's one to watch too. I think if it holds this, it's got a good shot. I kind of like to put these in my long-term account, my retirement account that's tax-free, because the dividend yield is really nice in a retirement account because there's no taxes on the dividends. So this is a good one. I've had it in my Roth IRA for a long time. Like it's a good long-term possibility here. I mean, technically, you can see it trades in these. It has these down channels, and when it breaks the down channel, that's a signal that's gonna keep going. See, it broke it there, and it's got a sort of a faster one here, so it needs to break again to be a short-term play. But that dividend yield's a nice cushion, I think, to give it some time to see if the politics shape out, because the politics is the most important thing when we're talking about an African company. So that's about it for the longs. This other robotics company came down to a support level. It got picked up really quick there on that support level. So this one might be a good long-term one, but the technicals are pretty bad right now. It's at the best it's like a bottom play there if it holds like 56, but looks like 57 was the low, 56. So it's got to hold 56, but doesn't look like it's going to at the moment. Some other ones, UNG, still holding uptrend. I've got a speculative play on that one, just because everybody's counting out natural gas, and if there's any weather event, it should go up based on the hurricanes or any bad weather this year. The weather is pretty much the thing that has the most factor that you can attribute to the price that's not already baked in, because everybody knows there's like a lot of supply in the US for natural gas, so the weather is the only factor, but it's just kind of a speculative play on the weather surprising the market, as it has happened in the past. Like Katrina was a big one. I mean, sometimes natural gas is a good trader, but it's got good momentum sometimes. So let's go on to the shorts, because I think those are more what I like here. The solar stocks continue to break down. This TAN ETF is a good short too, I think, too. I mean, as long as it holds this downtrend, as long as it keeps downtrending, it's a good short or puts. And then the ones I cherry picked out of it were JKS, because JKS is down after earnings, and the MAXN is a really nice one. It's been going nice down too. The HKIT is still going. Oh, look, it cracked. It looks like it actually did bust up but came back again. So Siri, I like that one still short. I got puts on that. It's like crack that other level, so I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 360, 350 this month or next month. We got puts on that. CHGG is surprising. Might even be a squeeze because this one's a good short, but it just popped up. So the Getty still coming down. I got puts on this one because it's doing what I thought it would do. It popped down and up after earnings, and then it's just going to come back down again, it looks like. PTON still down. I tweeted this one out. This was one of my highest conviction ones, up around these resistance levels. I think I traded it both times, or I traded it 2 times up here at resistance and support cracks. But it cracked a bunch of support there, and I thought it was going to bounce, or had a chance to bounce, but it's just really weak too. Where's that level? Well, that's the resistance for the channel, but it's still in that down channel, and it's got major support at 688, and it looks like it's going to test that tomorrow possibly. So it's another good short. I think this company, I think the fire burned out, and after COVID, it was basically a fad during COVID. Everybody was indoors and worked from home, and they just bought a Peloton because everybody else was. And I'm sure it's a good machine, but that was a huge factor in its success and sales. And it was an IPO, a recent IPO that came out at the peak of the IPO market, in the bubble of the IPOs. So it's kind of a perfect scenario for things to go against it, as they're losing sales from people being more active outside. So those are the ones that I was thinking of that had the most potential that I've seen. Let's go through a supernova scan real quick and see if there's any more supernovas. So I got about maybe like 8 more minutes for the 30-minute mark. TSVT is another good one too. It just keeps coming down. I've been talking about this one a lot. Like, I found it back there, and it's testing that level again. It's going to come down, looks like. I've got puts on that one. Got a lot of puts. I do have some calls that are just like speculative now on some of these tech stocks, but on these small cap tech stocks. But looks like Rover's not going to work out either. That one busted at that level there. And I still got the INDA puts, and I'm losing on the decay on this one. The time decay is going against me right now, but I see this one coming back down here too to this. It's got channel support and this level here, so I think it's going to test 4280, 4270 really soon. I mean, it's in this channel, so it's kind of just mimicking the other indices too. And the other one I think I still have puts on is EWZ, and this one is breaking down still too. It's a nice one. The EEM is a good one too for emerging markets to short. This is basically the emerging markets, and it kind of looked a lot like FXI or China to me, so I avoided it. But I mean, because I already had the China short, but this is a good one too for kind of a litmus on markets. It's a level right there. So it actually might have another couple of days where it goes down, because it's got support at 38 level, 38 area. 38. Yep. So I wouldn't be surprised for this one to come down to this level here. So, but it's down so much, like China, that it could easily bounce. Could get an oversold bounce, but I'm just gonna keep what I have and just reassess probably next week on what if anything was worth another short for these other countries. GNS is beautiful. I've been talking about this one too since like 3 days ago. GNS came down too, another perfect textbook supernova. I've got puts on this one. It's coming down really nice. The RAD, I'm kind of surprised, a little bounce there, but well, it's not really surprised, but this one, it's up in the air now if it's going to hold this bounce. Very well could. So let's look at the supernova scan real quick, and then we'll call it a night. What do we have? 4 supernovas. Nothing new. Nope. Yeah, not much because the market's down. But Mullen's going down. But there's a lot of shorts on that one. It's probably a good short. MULN. The MULN Mullen, that one, I'm sure there's a bear rate on that one now. 14-day. Wow, the APCX went up again. Yeah, I took that one off the list because it kind of held in there after that first red day. Still breaking out. I mean, that's probably a long that's more of a long at this point. But we'll see what it does. Maybe it'll go up another 100% and then we can short it. But I don't like it as a short now. So it's a long 4-day. Gambling.com is up 15% today. GAMB. That's impressive. I don't see anything standing out here. So I'll just call it a wrap on that, and I'll catch you guys later.